Hi, I'm Molly Pesci, and this is Barnes & Noble Tagged. Now, you've heard the phrase, I just don't know how she does it. Well, the truth is, the majority of working moms, including me, just don't know how to do it and could use a little help. So today, we've tagged books about moms who are doing it, and not just in the boardroom, but in the kitchen and even in bed. But first, one mom who jumped on the mommy track and has lived to tell the tale of her return to a career. Her stories and others like hers are captured in the new book, The Comeback. Emma Gilbey Keller left her successful writing career to become a full-time mother. It didn't take long before she felt she was living in the shadow of her husband, the New York Times executive editor Bill Keller. Her experience led her to chronicle the challenges facing other women from diverse professions who had dedicated themselves exclusively to their children and then staged a comeback to a life with a career. Her book is The Comeback, 7 stories of women who went from career to family and back again. Emma is here in the Barnes & Noble studio to tell us about this challenging journey. Emma Gilbey Keller, you've been tagged. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us about your book, The Comeback.
The Comeback is 7 stories about women who quit their careers and spent full time with their families and then went back and had successful careers again after several years.
Now, after interviewing all these women and putting the book together, did you find any kind of link through those 7 women? Like, how did they successfully do it?
The first thing they did was they got their families in order and they left a secure domestic base. And I think that's really important for women to realize that in order to feel confident about going back out, you have to feel confident about what you're leaving behind. So that was the first thing. The second thing that they did that they all shared was that they used a network of friends that they already had, so they weren't going out and knocking on the doors of strangers. So those were the 2 things that they both had in common, they all had in common.
Tell me, what made you want to write this book?
It was my own experience. I took several years off, 7 years in total, to raise my 2 kids, and I was a journalist. And at the end of those 7 years, I thought, I want to find women who've done this, who've gone back to work and tell their stories, and I could relate to it, and I thought women needed to hear those stories, so that's what I set out to do.
What was your children's reaction to you going back?
My older one didn't realize I'd ever been a journalist because I'd been at home so long. And when she was in 1st grade, she said, "What did you want to be when you grew up?" And I said, "I think I always wanted to be a journalist." And she said, "Oh, Mom, you never got your dream."
Oh, no.
And that's when I realized I had to go back to work.
Right. Well, it's really inspiring, especially we're both moms with kids, and to have, you know, this about other women. It's just a great book. It makes you feel really good about yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Now, we got a few more tags that will help steady the balancing act between career and family. In Mothers on the Fast Track, author Marianne Mason and daughter Eve Mason Ekman have written a guide for young women who are facing the tough decisions of when and if to start a family. The result is a roadmap of new choices for women facing the sobering question of how to balance a successful career with family. In The 3 Big Questions for a Frantic Family, business consultant and New York Times bestselling author Patrick Lencioni turns his sights on the most important organization in our lives, the family. Having experienced the stress of family life firsthand, he and his wife began applying some of the tools he uses with Fortune 500 companies at home, and with surprising results. Next, in their first book, I Was a Really Good Mom Before I Had Kids, Tricia Ashworth and Amy Nobley interviewed hundreds of moms about the challenges of modern motherhood. Now, in Dirty Little Secrets from Otherwise Perfect Moms, they coaxed moms to reveal secrets about the true picture of raising a family in a not-so-perfect household. After reading it, we find out we're not that different after all. Plus, in Just Do It, how one couple turned off the TV and turned on their sex lives for 101 days. Journalist Douglas Brown chronicles his quest to have sex with his wife Annie for 101 days. No excuses. Just Do It proves that even when it feels like there's never enough time or energy for intimacy, there is. Trust Annie and Doug. We want to know, what type of books do you think would help you do it all? Just go to bn.com/tagged and cast your vote. We'll let you know the results next week. Last week, we asked you, what's your favorite fall reading spot? The majority of you said at home under the covers. Hey, I think I'm feeling more balanced already. Home, work, family. Now if I could just figure out how to turn the pages. Thanks for watching Barnes & Noble Tag.